What's going on YouTube? It's Sean here and I'm back today with arguably the most anticipated video of 2019. So in today's video, I'll be counting down my top 19 sneaker pickups of 2019. When I look back at 2019, especially compared to last year, there wasn't clearly one or two specific shoes that was really obviously at the top of my list. Instead, throughout the entire year, the major brands dropped a ton of heat releases that were arguably very comparable from a hype and a demand perspective. So obviously, my list is completely subjective, so feel free to disagree, and I hope it is different from your lists. But at the end of the day, this was just based off of my personal feeling. It wasn't completely based off of hype. It wasn't completely based off of price or resale value or anything like that. And it was basically just a combination of all those factors on a personal level for me when I was creating my list of 19 pairs. So with that being said, let's kick off the list with number 19 with the Air Jordan 4 Retro Cool Gray. While the demand on this shoe wasn't incredibly high, to me the Cool Gray 4 was one of those pairs that I missed out on whenever they've released in the past. The color scheme of the shoe speaks for itself. It's very versatile, very wearable in all seasons, and Jordan Brand did a very good job in recreating this classic. Next up at number 18, we have the Nike Adapt BB in the Mag colorway. The Nike Adapt BB made a huge splash in the sneaker community this year with its self-lacing system. This shoe made shockwaves even in mainstream media.
Yes? Okay, what about this last one?
And this one is a bit newer, so this just dropped. It's the Adapt BB by Nike, and it's the first self-lacing basketball sneaker to release to the public.
What else are they gonna come up with?
And while this Mag colorway wasn't the first colorway to debut, it was, in my opinion, the best looking one. Paying homage to the Back to the Future Nike Mag, we see that similar color scheme adopted on the Adapt BB. So while I'll personally never own a pair of the Mags themselves, these Adapt BBs are a pretty good consolation prize. Moving on to number 17, we have the Travis Scott collaboration with Jordan Brand on the Air Jordan 6 Retro in this medium olive color. I know this shoe is going to be high up on a lot of people's list, and personally I'm just not a huge fan of the Air Jordan 6. However, the way that Travis Scott and Jordan Brand executed this release was very, very nice. This is a unique spin on the classic 6 silhouette, and with this militaristic vibe to the shoe coupled with high quality materials, to me this was a very well done collaboration, and definitely worthy of both its price point and its ranking in most people's lists. Next up at number 16, we have the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in the light bone colorway. These dropped, I believe, in January of this year, so while it seems like it might have been last year, it was actually a 2019 release. This all-new silhouette in this collaboration between Nike and Jerry Lorenzo sees a silhouette that's so unique and so different that it's actually become quite polarizing in the community. To me, this light bone colorway was easily my favorite so far to release, and I love the fact that it's still a performance-oriented sneaker while looking entirely like a lifestyle shoe. Moving on down my list to number 15, we have the Aime Leon Dore collaboration with New Balance on the 997 in the mulberry purple colorway. While the canary yellow pair was also very beautiful alongside the more recently released 990 V2 and V5, in my personal opinion, this mulberry purple ALD exclusive 997 easily is the best pair to release this year. The quality on this pair was really top notch, and I love the color blocking of this teal, the pink, and the purple. And what I really love most about this pair is it really lets the quality of the shoe shine while incorporating a color scheme that's not too in your face and very classy, very wearable, and overall just very well done. Moving on to number 14 on my list, we have the Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 in the Alien colorway. I recently reviewed this shoe, and if you watched that video, you've heard that I am a fan of this new silhouette. With so many 350 V2s, 700s, and 500s releasing on the market, it was long overdue that Adidas finally dropped a new Yeezy silhouette. So in comes this 380 with this very unique looking design. And to me, while the design is very eclectic and very strange in ways, that's what makes Kanye Kanye, and that's what I respect about his designs. Moving on to number 13, we have the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG in the Obsidian and University Blue colorway. Honestly, if I have to tell you, this pair is probably going to be a future classic in my eyes, and I love how it's a little understated while the quality of the materials was absolutely top notch. The leather quality was super soft, arguably as good as the shattered backboards, and I think in the future a lot of people who slept on this will probably regret it. Coming in next at number 12, we have the Travis Scott collaboration with Jordan Brand on the Air Jordan 1 Low. The Air Jordan 1 Low definitely has made a strong comeback in 2019, and no other pair received as much hype as this one. On many people's lists, this was easily a top 5 release, but to me, while this was still a very solid drop, and to be honest, the hype was through the roof, I still definitely preferred the high top over these ones. But again, a common theme that you've been hearing throughout this video, the quality on this pair was also very, very nice. And also throwing on the pink laces on my pair at least really made this shoe pop that much more, and as a result made me appreciate it that much more as well. Next up at number 11, we have the Off-White collaboration with Nike on the Air Max 90 in the Desert Ore colorway. While Off-White and Nike collabs have kind of taken a backseat this year, these Air Max 90s dropped alongside the black and white colorway earlier on in 2019. And if you know me, you know I love the Air Max 90, and this Desert Ore pair was definitely my favorite of the two. This beige or sand colored base makes it very versatile and wearable, and these accents of hot pink and teal gives it just enough pop that makes it undeniably an Off-White release. So now we've made it to the top 10. So at number 10, we have the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 V2 in the static colorway. While the 700 V1 Wave Runner got a ton of the hype, it was really this debut colorway of the 700 V2 that ended up being the true sleeper hit. With a much more streamlined appearance and a much more muted and versatile color palette, these static 700 V2s became the shoe that a lot of people didn't know they wanted but ended up wanting. And in fact, I've worn these statics quite a bit and I feel like they definitely break in pretty well and they get better over time with wear. Moving on to number 9, we have the Nike On Air Air Max 97 Shanghai. So I actually recently acquired this shoe via a trade, and I'm super glad I was finally able to add this to my collection. This pair was definitely the most sought after and the most limited pair of the collection, and with such a unique appearance with all these different layers on the upper, these are a true head turner on the streets, and just one of those shoes that Nike will probably never retro ever again. Next up on my list at number 8, we have the Nike SB Dunk Low OG Quick Strike in the Parra colorway. At first glance, this is just a very plain looking dunk, but upon closer inspection, this is clearly and undeniably a Parra collaboration. With the signature playful color palette, along with these layers upon layers of swooshes all over the shoe, these are another future classic in my hands. It also doesn't hurt that the leather quality on this pair was amazing, and it's one of those shoes that kind of just went under the radar after its release, but to me I just couldn't rank it any lower on my list. Moving on to number 7, we have the Nike Sacai LD Waffle in the Summit White colorway. This Sacai LD Waffle silhouette was definitely near the top in terms of the most hyped silhouettes of the year. For me though, I love this Summit White colorway because of just how muted it looks. And while it's muted in the sense that it's predominantly just white with different shades of gray, because of the way this shoe was designed by Sacai and Nike, basically fusing two shoes into one, it's still visually very interesting and very dynamic and not boring by any means. Next on my list at number 6, we have the Air Jordan 4 Retro in the black and red or bread colorway. For any Jordan fan out there, this Bread 4 was probably on your cop list this year, especially with the fact that they've sort of remastered the shape of the shoe and added Nike Air on the back, true to OG form. Yes, I'm aware this is not a new silhouette, so technically this list isn't about the top shoe of the year, but rather the top pickup of the year. These Bread 4s were a must-have in my collection, and arguably one of the greatest sneakers ever created in history. So now we're at the final 5. So starting things off at number 5, we have the Travis Scott collaboration with Nike on the Air Force 1 Cactus Jack. I'll be honest with you guys, when I first saw pictures of this shoe in the sneaker blogs and sneaker websites, I was not immediately sold. But once I got them in hand, saw the quality of the sneaker, took off the shroud, and added this tan colored lace, this is when this shoe really spoke to me. If you have a chance to see these shoes in person, you'll see all the intricate details gone into making this shoe, including the variety of materials, the quality of the materials themselves. All that combined made this a beautiful shoe in my eyes. So yes, this is not going to be a shoe for everyone, but this is why opinions are beautiful. We each have one, and to me, this shoe was solidly at number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have the Nike SB Air Jordan 1 High in the LA to Chicago colorway. If you guys aren't familiar with this shoe, the exterior of these Air Jordan 1s is painted in the familiar colors of the LA Lakers. However, this exterior paint does strip away, revealing a Chicago 1 pair underneath, combining a beautiful exterior with Nike SB touches like Zoom Air in the insole. It's no surprise why these were arguably one of the top Jordan 1 releases of the year, and why it landed on many people's lists of top pickups of the year as well. So that leaves us at number 3. Rounding out the top 3, we have the Air Jordan 11 Retro in the black and red colorway. Yes, I'm fully aware this was not a limited release by any means, and these are definitely not reselling for that much, if anything at all. The Bread 11s is, to me, one of the greatest sneakers of all time, so when Jordan Brand finally decided to re-retro this sneaker 7 years later, especially looking truer to OG form, this was a definite no-brainer. These are one of those shoes I feel I need in my collection. Even if I was to strip down my collection to only like 40 or 50 pairs, this one would probably make the cut. So next up, the second top sneaker pickup of the year for me was the Travis Scott collaboration with Jordan Brand on the Air Jordan 1 High. I'd be lying if I told you guys the Jordan 1 hype is not at an all-time high right now, but to me, this Travis Scott collaboration really was something special. First off, using brown as an accent color was something really different, and incorporating this bold reverse swoosh really cemented this sneaker as being a statement piece. It also doesn't hurt that the quality of the materials felt very top-notch as well, and then throwing on these pink laces really just took it to the next level. For a lot of people that I've talked to, this shoe is their #1 pickup of the year, and the secondary market prices on this shoe really echoes that same sentiment as well. So now that leaves us with my #1, my top absolute favorite pickup of 2019. When it's all said and done, that goes to the Nike collaboration with Sacai on the LD Waffle in the Gusto Green colorway. I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for this pick. I know the red and blue colorway was probably the more popular of the two. And while I did pick up that pair, this green pair was definitely the one that initially caught my eye, and it's the pair that I just keep going back to when I have to lace up a pair of these Sacais. Yes, I'm very aware that the quality of the shoe isn't the best. However, from a design standpoint and just pushing the envelope in terms of what a sneaker can be with the dual tongues, the dual laces, the dual swooshes, all that stuff, to me, all this speaks to best pickup of the year, alongside the fact that this retro color scheme was absolute fire. Again, as I mentioned from the start, this was a very tough decision picking even from 19 to 1, as I probably had a list of 50 shoes that could have made the list. In fact, I threw up a bunch of those shoes on my website and invited the public to vote for themselves, and I was curious to see how your selections ranked compared to mine. So as you can see, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Highs were your #1 pick, followed by the LA to Chicago's, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows at #3, the Travis Scott Air Force 1 Lows at #4, and the Obsidian Jordan 1s rounding out the top 5. So all in all, 2019 was another incredible year for sneakers, and I'm fully expecting the same, if not more, next year in 2020. So let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about my ranking of my top 19 sneaker pickups of 2019. Do you guys agree with most, some, or do you guys pretty much disagree with my entire list? It's all good. I want to hear your opinions down below in the comment section. I'm also curious to know what were your personal top 3 pickups of the year, and was there any shoe that you missed out on that would have made your top 3 list if you had managed to cop? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at SCO8, check out my Twitter at Sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to recapping my top 20 pickups of 2020 1 year from now. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.